myself. Hopefully you can hear me. Let's talk about the Patriots and the Ravens. The Patriots are 15-4 at home in the postseason, but 2 of those 4 losses came to the Ravens. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco has the best record for road wins in the NFL during the postseason. So here's the question quite simply. Even though New England is favored by a touchdown, Skip Bayless, will they beat the Ravens?
Yes, they will. Stephen A. Smith, I made the case to you 2 weeks ago that the Ravens were the biggest threat to New England after a bye week in Foxborough. And I told you a week ago the Ravens would win against your Steelers in Pittsburgh, and they did. And I do point out that the Ravens have had their way with the Patriots in 3 fairly recent playoff games. They should have won all 3 in Foxborough. This is after the 09 season, the 11 season, and after the 12 season. And they did win 2 out of those 3. And yet now I believe that the Patriots I have supported all year, the Patriots that you picked before the year to win it all, have even more incentive than ever to get even with the Ravens for all but owning Gillette Stadium over those 3 playoff games. They must protect their house, and they will protect their house this time.
We must protect this house.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to remind everybody, as much as I respect this Ravens team, there's no more Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
There's no Ed Reed. There's no Anquan Bolden. Heck, there's no Dennis Pitta.
Sure. There's
no Kerry Williams or Donnell Ellerby. There's obviously no Ray Rice. And remember that playoff game after the 09 season? Ray Rice, it was like the first play of the game, went 83 yards, and it was like 24-0 after a quarter. Ray Rice ran for 159 yards and 2 first-quarter touchdowns, and it was basically a blowout that ended 33-14. There's no that Ray Rice anymore. So I think the Patriots are clearly superior to these Ravens. I think Flacco will turn back into Fluco this time by this defense. This New England defense is just maybe the best that Belichick's ever had. So I think this is going to be decisive. I think it's going to be a significant statement by a team coming off a bye with Julian Edelman back healthy again. I'm going Patriots 32-13 in this game.
Wow.
I think you're being completely disrespectful to the Baltimore Ravens. I look at the Ravens right now, and I'm going to agree with you from the standpoint that I do believe New England will win this game. I picked New England. My man, chill out. We heard you the first time. Here's the point. I do believe that New England's going to win this game for the right reasons in terms of Tom Brady, in terms of the greatness of Rob Gronkowski. I have no doubt about that. I think picking up LeGarrette Blount is going to be a big pickup for them because I think they'll be able to run effectively in short yardage situations. And I'm not dismissing anything about Tom Brady. I mean, he's just big time. And I know that I've seen him more fired up this year than I've seen him in years,
you got it.
if ever. He wants this bad. Belichick wants this bad. They keep knocking on the door, knocking at the door, and coming up short. The road to the Super Bowl comes through Foxborough right now, and I think the kind of team that can beat New England is a Seattle or a Baltimore Ravens team. The problem is Baltimore doesn't have Seattle's personnel. I like Forsett. I like him a lot. I think this brother can play. I love what I saw him do this season. I do have questions about what Torrey Smith is going to do. I do have questions about what Owen Daniels is going to do in replace of Dennis Pitta. And defensively, I think it takes the experience of a Ray Lewis and an Ed Reed to offset and neutralize a Rob Gronkowski. I know that Baltimore's defense will show up. I think the fact that they're underdogs and everybody's expecting them to lose this game gives them even more oomph to their game. No doubt about it. But ultimately, I think it's going to come down to Flacco being required to save the day. I think he'll be good enough to keep you in the game, but I don't think he'll be able to save the day. I think New England's going to win this game, but I don't think it's going to be as convincing as you think it is. I'm going to pick New England to win this game 31-27.
30-27. So you got it going to the wire.
I got it going to the wire, and New England being able to hold on, because regardless of how much I love Steve Smith, and what a great, great name that is.
Is it?
All right. You've got him. You've got Flacco and those boys. In the end, you know what time it is. When it gets down to the nitty-gritty, you're going to try to go to the man. In that case, it's going to be Steve Smith, who I believe is going to have a respectable game, because he's too good for me not to respect him. But he is going up against Darrelle Revis, and Darrelle Revis is here for a reason and a purpose. And with Revis and McCourty and those boys, I think it will be enough. And they will hold on and win. It will be a thriller. I don't believe this game will be decided with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but I think that New England will hold on and advance to the AFC Championship game.
You good?
New England decisive.
New England decisive. Again, if in fact New England wins, they advance to play the winner of the Broncos-Colts game. We're heading over to the Pick'em board, where we have some Ohio State royalty in the house. Bobby, you guys know Bobby Carpenter?
Yeah.
You guys remember Bobby? He played for the Cowboys. Bobby, I'm going to ask you to pick, but I'm pretty sure I know where you're going with this. Who's going to win the game?
I told you guys just to put it up here from the start.
Okay.
There's really no question.
Really?
Going to win.
Yes, okay.
We're just going to slide this guy
Okay, Ohio State.
right over there.
He's going with those Bucks. When we come back, the Ohio State alum will join the desk, talk to us a little bit about the Cowboys, talk to us about the game, share some funny stories. First take is on the road.